My name is Arman, and I was born in Bosnia and Herzegovina, a country once torn apart by war, a conflict that shattered lives and hopes on a scale Europe had promised never to see again. It was a war that left deep scars on the region, scars that are still healing. Growing up, I saw a country struggling with division and the slow pace of post-war reconstruction. The dream of a prosperous future in the region felt distant, sometimes overshadowed by the weight of the past. It was exactly 25 years ago, in September 1999, that our patron de promotion and the architect of the EU, Jacques Delors, stood in front of the students at the College of Europe in Bruges, and with a simple question, proposed a solution to the crisis in the Balkans. Si je me suis attardé sur cette partie de notre Europe, ce n'est pas par simple concession à nos actualités exigeantes, mais pour tenter de vous convaincre de la justesse de la méthode communautaire. Celle-ci est un atout considérable pour aider à résoudre les énormes problèmes que doit affronter cette région, pour surmonter peu à peu les haines, les méfiances, les tentations de rejeter l'autre. Nous y sommes parvenus à l'Ouest, et les jeunes générations doivent constamment se souvenir que cette bataille pour la paix et la compréhension mutuelle n'était pas gagnée d'avance. Pourquoi ne pas espérer, ne pas tenter la même aventure dans ce monde déchiré et instable des Balkans? Delors understood that peace was always at the core of the European project. He believed that the same adventure of integration should be open to the Balkans. As Commission President, he was the first to understand that we should not only enlarge the community, we should unify Europe. And he was right. As a Croatian national, I know how transformational this process can be. After years of implementing reforms with EU support, Croatia has changed enormously. It became a democratic nation with respect for freedom, fundamental rights, and rule of law. But its transformation into an EU member state wasn't just a story of implementing reforms. It was a commitment to peace, stability, and a united future in Europe, bringing a fresh wind of hope and a belief that the horrors of the past would not return to Europe. But today, as we gather here in Tirana, that same promise of never again is being tested once more. The ongoing war in Ukraine reminds us that peace, stability, and unity in Europe are fragile. It reminds us that the European project is not yet complete. It is something that we must build and transform with every generation. Now, it is our generation's turn. And the opening of the College of Europe in the region is a huge step towards the completion of this vision. But as we celebrate tonight, let me pose another question from our patron. How can we ever build Europe if young people do not see it as a collective project and a vision of their future? Over the past month and a half, I've had the privilege of getting to know these 31 exceptional young people from across the EU, the region, and beyond. Even after the short amount of time, it was clear to me that each one of you, when we were writing our applications for the college, felt that our goal here was not only to write a new chapter in our own lives, but to co-write the next chapter of the College of Europe. As the first of many promotions of this campus, just like many countries in the region, our journey will be the one of transformation. We will live, study, and debate Europe, driven by this belief in the value of integration for our communities, our regions, and our Europe. Though at the beginning of this journey, let Delors remind us, c'est le moment de donner un âme à l'Europe. It's a moment to give Europe a soul. As the first promotion here, we have the unique responsibility to give this campus a soul by starting traditions, forming societies, and embodying the values of inclusion, solidarity, and resilience. We're not just students. We're participants in the transformation of this campus and the college itself. But we're not alone. Supported by hundreds of colleagues in Bruges and Atolin, we're ready to embrace this mission. And while Ukraine fights for its European future, we come together to shape Europe's next chapter, to ensure that the devastation we see today does not define tomorrow, but that our shared commitment to a united and peaceful Europe does. In a world facing unprecedented challenges, the conflict in Ukraine, the escalating crisis in the Middle East, the climate emergency, and the shifting global order, our role becomes even more crucial. The opening of this campus in the Western Balkans sends a powerful message. that Europe is not complete without this region, and that our strength lies in our ability to come together across borders, across countries, across cultures, and across histories. We believe that the EU and the Western Balkans, in the words of President von der Leyen, share the same continent, same history, the same culture, and will share the same destiny too. It is now my distinct privilege to introduce a leader whose vision has guided Europe throughout these challenging times. As the first woman to lead the European Commission, President Ursula von der Leyen has been continuing Delors' legacy, particularly in her continuous support for the Western Balkans and her leadership during the greatest challenges of our time. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming President Ursula von der Leyen.